Hi, my name is Shayna Singleton, and this is Conversations with Cousin Carlie, episode 5. We are talking about survivor's guilt. Cousin, you want to give your little intro? Let the people know
Yes,
who you are.
Rich and Divine Rising. I'm Carlie Rock on the internet. I'm a coach. I'm a writer, and I'm the CEO of Merch by Carlie Rock. And I'm excited to get into this convo today.
Yay. All right, so survivor's guilt. I was watching Pose last night,
Mhm.
and they mentioned survivor's guilt. I like completely tuned off, like tuned the show off and went
Mhm.
through my thoughts. And I'm in this weird phase of like my advocacy when it comes to herpes
Uh-huh.
that I feel like I may have a little bit of survivor's guilt that's holding me back from evolving, or I'm evolving. I don't know. Let me explain.
Yes.
So there's this thing when someone finds out they have herpes, they like sink into this dark space, they throw the stigma on themselves, they just get really sad.
Mhm.
And in the beginning of me talking about herpes, I was able to nurture that. Oh, I understand, you know, make them feel good and get them through that.
Mhm.
Now I'm at the point when it's kind of like I'm tired of the sad negative narrative when it comes to people within the herpes community or the herpes virus, that
Mhm.
anything that supports it, I'm turned off by.
Okay.
Now, I want to become like the type of coach that when you come to me, you already know what I bring.
Mhm.
I'm gonna trigger you because that's how I get dig deep and find the root of the issues is through your triggers. But I need you to come to me knowing that that's gonna happen and ready
Mhm.
to let go of the sad narrative.
Okay.
Now, some people may not like that approach because they feel like, well, you've been there, you should understand, you should show a little bit compassion for where you've been. But my goal is to break this stigma, and I feel like anything that the people within the community and the people outside of the community, if you want to hold on to that sad narrative, then
Mhm.
I don't have time for it, which is hard because my job is to get you
To
through
let go.
it.
Right.
And I'm also thinking, am I thinking that way because of survivor's guilt? Am I thinking maybe I need to be some more compassionate? Maybe I need to, cut back some because of my survivor's guilt. And is that stopping me from becoming the best coach that I can possibly be, which is F this negative, sad, pity party around the herpes stigma and what we, this
Mhm.
illusion that we've created for ourselves. Um, when you come to me, I need you to know that that's something that you want to break from yourself. For
Mhm.
yourself, when you come to me, I need you to let go of those thoughts. So it's like a little struggle. I don't.
I get that. I get that. So I feel like um I'm trying to see because the survivor's guilt that I've experienced different, but I don't want to leave the thought from yours. Um, who is it that's speaking to them? You know what I mean? Because I think the reason why you are a good coach and the reason why people approach you, number one, is they know what your energy was like and what attracted you to them right away. So that's something to consider is that they already kind of have a piece of your personality before coming into it. Um, but I think what allows you to be a good coach, especially to talk about the herpes stigma and HSB in general, is the fact that you are a survivor. You know what I mean? And that you've gone through different steps in the process that people are just coming into. Um, so when you say survivor's guilt, um,
It's kind of the idea of like, say somebody in the family, right?
mhm,
From a poor family and somebody makes it. A
right.
lot of that mindset within the family is they owe you something. Well,
Mm,
they should, come back for us. They should help us. Da, 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 da. If someone gets money, it's all of our money type of attitude. You
Mhm.
have the person who completely detaches themselves from the family, and then the person that's kind of stuck in the middle and getting
I
pulled
get
down.
what you mean. Like, because I made it through, is it now I get what you mean, because that guilt feeling is, what do I owe you now that I've survived? Or is there more that I have to show you, that I'm obligated to give you in my own spirit, that I feel like I'm obligated to give you this extra, or to give you this extra compassion, even though this is not how I roll,
Yeah.
because I think that you need it to get through. I think that's the struggle of a coach, is bringing your personal and the way that you handle your professional and blending the two. But I think that's all about letting people know up front what they can expect from you.
Yeah.
And I think it's from doing perception checks or evaluations as you go through the process to see, you know what I mean? Because you might be sitting here thinking, oh, I might be a little bit hard, but then you might end up after, let's say, 2 weeks, do a survey or a questionnaire, and then another 2 to 3 weeks, do another questionnaire and realize they like my style.
Yeah.
They don't think that I could tone it down a little. When I'm asking them what's something that they would change, they're saying nothing. Keep like,
Yeah.
I like your style. You know what I mean? So I do get that. And I think kind of survivor's guilt can be blended, not all the way, because I don't want to skew definitions, but privilege is, I think, and I think that's another part that brings that guilt about it, is because the allowance to do something that others didn't, right? So I get that part of it. I was recently talking about something similar, not so much survivor's guilt, but I guess privilege, because I was raised in a household with my sisters, and I was the only one that had the opportunity to get a scholarship to like a private high school. I got a scholarship to go to college. I got a scholarship to go to university. And so I was able to be put into a lot of spaces and be taught a lot of things that were not introduced to my sisters. And so being able to handle certain social situations, or being able to understand something right off the bat, or like literally when I do things when it comes to technology, I'll be like, well, damn, I'm good. But forgetting, like, Carlie, you went to a school where like they kept you out doing hours worth of multimedia and editing things. So in sense of, what did I survive? I guess the hood. I guess I survived public school teaching. You know what I mean? And then it's like you said, the obligation of, since I was able to do this and I recognize that this wasn't the opportunity of others, how do I go about bringing them to where I'm at? How do I help them get them through to where I'm at? And the funny thing is that what I did is I did it how I learned. So how I learned it is how I was able to teach people. I did put my little twist on it when it came to my personality, but if things were like drilled into me until I got it, that's how I did it. I used to shut down every argument in my household, like literally every single one. And I would make everybody stop and say, now, how about you try saying it like this? And how about you try saying it like this? Like, I would really try, and they would be so annoyed with me growing up in this house. They would be so annoyed, like, yo, we can't even have a damn argument without Carlie always, da, 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 da. You think you're so this, you so smart. And not everybody can be human relations like you, Carlie, but I'm not going to pussyfoot my way through some of these arguments when I know better. And I know what it'll do if I allow you guys to continue this. It can deteriorate the relationship. It can turn our great day into a horrible day if I don't step in with my human relationness. So I get that part of it. Sometimes you have to give it how you got it. Sometimes you have to give it how you got it. Care, asking someone how they like to learn or whatever is one thing, but also what you're learning is the way that people usually choose to heal is not necessarily the most healthiest.
Yeah.
They might be used to somebody coddling them. They might be used to somebody being like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. You know, that type of thing where it's like, I'm not going to help you get better if I keep treating you the way your whole family can treat you. Let your family treat you like that when you get comfortable enough to disclose if you have or haven't. But when you come to me, I'm like a trainer. A personal trainer is not going to be like,
Yeah, a personal trainer is not going to handhold you. They're gonna be in your face.
Right. A personal trainer is going to work you. You're
Hmm.
going to go home and tell your family how bad you got work. And they're
Yeah,
going to say, well, maybe next time talk to him a little bit. And did he give you any stretches to do? Or did she give you any type of things that you could do afterward? Let your family do that.
yeah,
But if I'm here to coach you, if I'm here to help build you up, if I'm here to get you out of that thing that you feel like has been holding you down, remember that you've come to me for a reason. But I think that we don't owe anybody. I like to give a lot of respect and understanding, but we don't owe anybody a whole change in our personality
that's true.
um, in order to get them through.
I
There's
think
other coaches that they could go to probably if they like that stuff.
outside of coaching,
Hmm.
um, I know I'm evolving. So I think I'm stepping into more of a influencer role than the coaching role. I want to step back from the coaching, just be
Okay,
more of an influencer.
got it.
But when I think of survivor's guilt, I feel like it's heavy when it comes to family, especially when it comes to families that come from survivor mentality, come from the hood, that don't come from a lot, that don't come from a lot of money. My families, both sides of my families, it's not like we the Wayans and you got the rich Wayans and the poor Wayans.
Right.
It's pretty much leveled straight across when it comes to middle class or down.
Hmm.
And I think about some of my relationships with my cousins and the relationships that they have with their siblings. And if someone steps into money, the other person thinks that they're entitled to it. Or if someone steps into success, the other person feels like, well, if you were able to get next to this person, then why didn't you put me on? Or why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? So the entitlement from family members can cause survivor's guilt.
Hmm.
And I feel like that can be that oh, can't say the word right now. It's not even coming out. It's not
I'm
even
not the word.
um all right, scratch that, scratch that. That can be bad for the person coming out of the situation. Um, I think it's kind of like a door, survivor's guilt. It's kind of like if you have survivor's guilt, you're not going to go through the door. But if you let go of your survivor's guilt, there's so many opportunities on the other side.
Right.
That hand holding to whatever that's making you feel guilty or your reflection of who you were, you may see that within your family and friends, and it's a reflection that you don't necessarily like anymore, or you're trying to get rid of, or you don't want to see anymore.
Yes.
um yeah.
And also, the thing about guilt is, because with other guilt, it's not survivor's guilt, because that brings a whole new level to it. But understanding, like looking at why are you holding that guilt? Because is it yours to even carry? Is it real? Some of it truly does come from the outside, but some of it is really on us because we recognize how we're separating from. And it's sometimes that internal wish, like I wish we could all moved up when I moved up, and everybody can move together so that I don't feel like now I'm becoming more and more distant from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish you had been able to come up when I was coming up so I didn't have to feel this drastic difference between us now, or that I'm now in a place that you can't touch, or I'm now in a place that just seems so far off from you. But that's like you hit the nail on the head with that, is we're owning different parts of the survivor's guilt, right? And it's like, now how does Shayna get rid of that? Are you worthy of the place that you're in?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you deserve to be there, and if you know the work that you've put in to be there, then why the guilt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like somebody, well, I mean, it's depending. I was like, it's not like somebody came and gave you like a gold medal and be like, this is for you. But you were given certain tests, certain things were placed in front of you, and how you worked with it got you to where you are. what you decided to do with it got you to where you are. So where should the guilt be held in that? Why is it, and I don't want to take anybody's quote, but it's like, where is the confidence in surviving? Bless you. You know what I mean? Where is the, do that, 3, 2, 1.
I love the confidence in surviving, because sometimes when you are when you're going through your little self-love journey, spiritual journey, whatever y'all want to call it, surviving can feel foreign. It can feel wrong because you've never done it before. And you have to gain some sort of confidence in your growth, in you changing your mindset from victim to survivor. And sometimes the confidence might be hard to find if you're surrounding yourself with the same people that you were with before your transition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to end it off on that note. So anyone watching this, in what ways have you experienced survivor's guilt? Have you experienced survivor's guilt? What does survivor's guilt mean to you? Please comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and maybe me and Carlie can talk about one of your comments in another video. I do want to get into, I gotta scratch all this part out at the end. Thank you for watching Conversations with Cousin Carlie. This is episode 5, Survivor's Guilt.